Today is our 100th flight. We departed somewhere from Massachusetts, and now on our 100th flight we are going to fly to Astoria, which is kind of a former base of Vatstar, when I come from, and many of you as well. So it's gonna be a little bit of nostalgic trip. Hopefully we'll be able to fly it properly and have fun at the same time. So without further ado, let's go into it, and let's see what weather awaits us. I'll go here. I'll enter the path. And since we are on the winds, let's check the winds. 9,000 feet. It's gonna be against, it's gonna be a headwind, so that will make our trip just a little bit longer. That's what we needed, right? And surface winds, it seems that, again, that's something that is not very standard for Astoria, that we have easterly winds. That will also explain the lack of clouds and good visibility. So yeah, very unusual for Astoria, but maybe it's usual in this part of year. I don't know. I don't really observe the weather here on some regular basis. Yeah, there's some clouds there expected, but nothing on the coast. So we should be clear there. As for the flight route, very quickly, it's also something that should be pretty easy, because let's just remove that one, because it's pretty much the straight line, right? And we have a Victor Airway there. So what we're gonna do is I would file something like that. That's from VOR to VOR. And it's a pretty straight line, and obviously Zigbee, which will be our first initial approach fix, is on the way there, so we'll break off when it's time to break off. If I go here, again we have visual conditions, so not really necessary to fly any obstacle procedure, but I personally would like to. The reason is that it's a pretty fun one, I would say. From all the runways except for which is it? It's a runway 02. Yeah, it's pointing there. Yeah, so 02 is kind of NA. Then yeah, NA obstacles. So whatever other, and even 02 is the most favorable one today, if I'm not mistaken. We have 09 or 0, so that means that it's just 070 or so, the wind. Magnetic, that means like from there. So yeah, it's pretty much the best runway, but we'll probably either need to take it like visually and don't even go with ODP, because visually it's gonna be possible, I believe. If I look at the Seattle chart,
it's clear.
Yeah, there are some obstacles somewhere, but yeah. So we could do that, or we will try to do some crosswind takeoff. It's a 13 knots, gusting 18. It's gonna be really perpendicular to this mostly.
According to a Navigraph, it's saying 16s, because it's not really a straight north.
Yeah.
It's 350 or something, but yeah, it's saying it's favouring 16.
16 even.
Yeah, there's a bit of a headwind, that 4-knot headwind.
Yeah, but the wind is actually 07. It's really almost the same, because it's almost a direct crosswind there anyway. But anyway, we can do either 16 or 34. and it will, after some turns and some initial headings, it will put us onto the course, on the 200 radial, and then upon reaching 1500, which will probably be even before we are established on this radial, then it's a left turn to the VOR, and then once we pass 2200, then it's en route. You can go. So what actually happens? Do you, let's say that you take off from 34, so it's like take off to the north. You turn left after reaching like 400 feet AGL. You should not really do the turn before that. Then you turn left, go to heading 170, and before you even go to radial 200, you are above 1500. That actually means that you should be able to just go direct, the VOR, or better, maybe because there is like a 2200 feet limit, maybe just fly until you are at 2200 and then go direct VOR and, depart. You don't actually need to align with this and then make a turn back. Not really necessary. Are there any questions for departure procedure? I hope not really. Hope we are all veterans here, so it should be fine. Then we have a straight portion to fly. It's I will admit I will today use the autopilot once I climb, because going like 96 or 45 minutes just straight, I believe I will make it easy for myself a little bit, and it also provides an option or opportunity to actually practice with the autopilot, so I am current on that as well. So then, what we usually ask the students, or asked the students before, we had two approaches. We had ILS runway 26 and then VOR runway 08. And we would first fly the precision because we would be coming from Portland. And then we would fly it all the way to the minima. Obviously, we would have the weather configured in a way that nothing could be seen outside, clouds all the way to 200 feet. But today it's gonna be visual. At least we'll be able to enjoy the scenery much more than the P2 students. And then we go a missed procedure and then transition to VOR runway 08. So let me open both of them and let's see what we have. On the P2 checkride, it's usually just coming directly to Zinky or something like that, because we were coming from the east. But today we are coming from the south, so we will incorporate this DME arc into this. I will then later show you on the slide some technique, how you can fly it, and we'll discuss that. But what that means is the MEA on the route was 8,000 feet, right? Since we are flying westbound magnetically, we should be filing, actually, yeah, we can file 8,000, right? We're coming westbound.
Yeah, that's what I filed.
Yeah, so 8,000 or 10,000 or whatever. And me too. I want to modify my slides because I put 9,000 there, example. But let's ignore that. So 10,000 feet, and then when we overfly Zigbee, the chart says to us that we can descend to 4,400. Is that really needed to descend right away? I don't think so. We'll also discuss a little bit later how to calculate when to start the descent. So it's more or less, when you start the descent, you can continue the descent kind of continuously. You don't need to arrest the descent. So Zigbee is an initial approach fix for us. We'll turn right and we'll fly that arc. Here we have a lead radial 087, and that is for bigger aircraft, kind of a hint that when you cross this radial 087, it's time to start turning left. In our smaller and slower aircraft, we can do it a little bit later, so I'll leave that to you. When to start that. I would suggest that when you cross this radial, you already have kind of these ILS tuned in. Word of warning here: you will probably require this ILS localizer signal very late. It might not even be available. Well, it should be available at Zinki. But let's say that this is 19 miles, and I believe that MSFS limits it to something like 20 miles, or if I remember correctly. So you would probably have the signal ready, and you can kind of make a turn based on that. What is special about this is you can see some DME readings here, but beware, these are DME readings from the Astoria VOR, not from the ILS antenna. This ILS doesn't have incorporated DME machinery, so you'll need to have both Astoria VOR and ILS tuned in and take the DME from the VOR. What else? Yeah, so when you turn inbound, this is still 4,400 feet. You can see no PT. That means that you are not allowed to do this depicted procedure turn. You directly turn left to intercept the localizer there. Then we have the MEA of 4,000 feet, as you can also see here. And you have like 6 miles to descend those 400 feet. In 6 miles, you usually descend something like 2,000 feet, 3-degree glide slope. So we have a lot of time. This depicts that the ILS signal is really reliable from this point. You have this lightning symbol here. So from this point, you can be pretty sure that it's reliable. So I would recommend, in this case, if you're flying at 4,400 from here, then it's fine to intercept at 4,400. But this is really the altitude where they intend you to intercept that. So just I would just descend to that and intercept it from below. It's at Yunsa. It's still 13 miles from the airport, 20 miles from the airport. So it's quite a long descent.
Quite bumpy.
Yes, well, we were always doing like a west winds. We now have east winds, so let's see how the simulator will interpret it. But yes, usually when the P2 students would fly, just at crossing Hyunsa, it would be really bumpy at that point. There are some, hills, and Microsoft Simulator actually simulates those mountain waves, I believe. So it was always bumpy there. But it showed, if the student was able to manage it anyway. I remember myself, I was flying this checkride in the 150, Cessna 150 too. It was a rather small airplane, and I believe that my bank would go like from 0 to 20 degrees in an instant at some point. Managed somehow, I don't know how. Anyway, today we're gonna have a tailwind likely on this approach, so your ground speed will be higher. In that case, also your descent needs to be kind of higher than normal. So we'll see how we manage. The decision altitude is 264 feet MSL, aka 250 AGL. And if you are not able to land, or if you don't want to, or want to practice this approach, then you climb to 1500 and then climbing right turn to 2900 direct Astoria VOR and hold. Here some people would say that you should really start the right turn immediately upon reaching 1500. I, on the other hand, say that especially in an aircraft, this is designed in a way that if you climb 200 feet per nautical mile, right? That is the like for minimum climb gradient that you need to maintain in order to be legal to fly those approaches. And that means if you go 200 feet per nautical mile, that means that until you climb to 1,500, let's say from 300, let's say, then you have 1,200 feet. That means 6 nautical miles that you can really fly straight. So I would suggest that you wait until you are like 2 nautical miles behind that VOR in order to make the turn and intercept direct. If you start the turn at the level of the VOR, I don't know how you manage to go direct VOR, right? So allow yourself some space, fly straight in for a while, and then turn direct Astoria VOR. And then when you are there, you should hold, and the holding is depicted here. Here, this is this. I don't know. It's not the dotted line, but how to call? Help me, someone.
Dashed line.
Dashed line. Yeah,
It's broken line.
I would normally call dashed line if it's like perpendicular to those, like if we go really. But yeah, dashed broken line. And this is the hold, so it's right turns, inbound radio is 079er, and the altitude is 2,900 feet. If we do have a controller and he for some reason allows more of us, to make this approach simultaneously, also this holding procedure would be like maybe different altitude for each of us. We would see, how that would look like. Or we can stack ourselves, because another task that the students had was that when they entered that holding pattern, they were required to fly like 3 or 4 patterns or like racetracks around it before we let them fly further to the VOR approach. I will let that onto you if you want to practice holding as well or not. Now, any questions to the ILS approach?
Yeah, Thomas, I have one.
Yes.
Not that I'm flying, but this is for my education. People, if you're coming from the south, do you have to go through the DME arc kind of approach, or can we directly go and fly to the Zinke initial approach fix? Is there anything?
If you get a clearance from ATC to fly direct Zinke, then by all means do that, but in that case, you are then required to do this procedure turn.
Right. Oh, you are supposed to do the procedure turn?
If you're flying direct Zinke, then yes. However,
Okay.
if you are flying the arc, which states no procedure turn, then you don't need to.
Okay. And another general question here. So why do you, I mean, I've seen some of the ILSs where you don't have this DME arc, right? So is there a reason why in this one and in a few others that this becomes part of the approach? Why do they have a DME arc?
Because it's a way how to navigate, to that point using just one single VOR with the DME.
If you look along that arc, you'll see some high spots at 3,200 feet, 3,000, almost 3,000 feet. There's lots of high terrain around there.
Yeah, but mostly it makes sure that you have the en route Victor Airway here coming from the south, but you need to get yourself there. So either you go all the way to the VOR and then fly from the VOR to Zinke, turn around and land, or you break off here, and this is like a reliable way how to navigate there. Because if you have just a VOR receiver and no GPS, how the hell would you go, from there to Zinke? Yes,
Yeah,
you can use radar vectors for me, sure. But
yeah.
other than that, this is like a reliable way how to get there.
Yeah, Thomas, thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
Because
Yeah,
for VOR you can navigate to the VOR, from
yes.
the VOR, and along the arc.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think that is what I missed. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you also notice it says NA for arrivals at the DME between 24 and 99. So if you've come say from the south east, you can't do it because you can't use the VOR to turn inbound.
If you go here,
Yeah, you're all right from there because you're on 170. He's saying,
Yeah.
but I'm saying if you're coming from the south, well, no, if you're coming from the north east down to the south east, you can't.
Northeast. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
from
If you're
24 to
coming from
99.
there, yes. Uh, this also, there is one note. If it says procedure NA for arrival on Astoria VOR DME airway radius 024 clockwise 09er, it's like from maybe there, right? Yeah, something from there to there, right? So when you arrive, from here. This actually applies only if you start the approach from the Astoria VOR here. This node will be always close to the fix where you start the approach. It doesn't apply from arrivals from Zigbee or Puli or Zinki or Zunab. This is just for arriving at the Astoria VOR. To go all the way there, yes, we could use that because we would be arriving on 010, right? No, yeah, radio is 10170. Sorry. But why to do that, right? When you have the DME arc there. All right. Let's transition to the VOR approach. All right, like open it. It looks quite simple. We have only one initial approach fix, which is the Astoria VOR. It's kind of handy because after we go missed at ILS, we will be using this Astoria VOR as a holding fix. So we should be able to kind of transition. Now, what does that call for? From the Astoria VOR, you should fly on radial 250, then execute the procedure turn, right? So reverse the course and then come back on 070. You might notice that it has it actually has a straight-in minima, but it also has circling minima, which are kind of the same for category A, a little bit different for B, but I will come back to these minima a little bit later. So it's a simple matter of going there. Now, imagine that. Let me try to make a picture of it. I will take. Well, actually, no, I don't. Will transition to this presentation, and I will make some notes here. I hope it's big enough. But basically, you are holding someplace there, right? After the missed approach. And the direction is like this. So, there are like two options, right? Or actually, one option that most people think that they need to do. Let's say that you want to fly, you want to execute this, procedure turn. And it doesn't matter if you do this 45, 180, or if you do like 80 and then turn back or whatever. It just means that you need to be reversing on the south side of this radial and somehow reverse the course. So what usually students fly and brief is something like this, that they say, okay, when I cross this VOR here and I will get myself on the unbound course, I will just continue turning, and then intercept this 250 radial and then make a turn, right? Something like that, probably. It's perfectly valid and it's a correct procedure to do. However, you can also do something like this. I will take magenta here. You can just finish the turn, just continue straight here, right? And when it's time, you just, make a turn and align yourself on the inbound on the 250 radial. So whatever you do, it's fine, right? You don't need to actually intercept this one, but you should have this dialed in the VOR in your VOR receiver, so you don't go north of it, right? So you keep the needle to the right when flying. Great. Okay. Vertical profile. We have three altitudes here. We have 2,600, we have 2,000, and then we have the MDA, which is like kind of there. So when can I actually descend to 2,000? What do you think? At which portion of this?
I guess as soon as you depart from the VOR westbound.
Any other idea or opinion? Yeah, that's actually true. So as soon as you depart VOR westbound, you can descend to 2,000 feet. And when can you start descending lower?
After the turn.
The turn. So when you are established on the inbound course on the radial 250, so flying 0770 course, but the radial is 250 inbound. When you're established, you can start descending from 2,000 feet. Now, it says here 720 and so on, but let me show you something. If I go here and I go to the NOTAM search, I look for Astoria, you can see that we have two NOTAMs relating to the procedures, right? And both are for the runway 8. One is from the RNF GPS runway 8 and the second is for VOR runway 8. Just open this one and it says so it is for VOR runway 8 amendment 12C. If I look at this, we have amendment 12C, so that's for us. And what does it say? Circling category I MDA 1140 and 1.25 mile visibility. Height, this is height above threshold and height above airport, 1126, and category B MDA 1140, visibility 1.5, so on. Right? So that means that our minima are not actually 720 or 800, but it's 1140 feet. Right? Remember that. What it also says is, where is it? Procedure is NA, category C and D. So even though the approach plate says that you have C and D minima, it's actually not available for these kind of aircraft. And then missed approach is climb to 1400, then climbing left turn to 4800 in the holding pattern. Continue climb and hold. Whereas the plate says we should climb to 1300, 1400. Right, so there are some amendments to this procedure. If I had that in a paper format, I would probably just, go and with the pen, just, cross that and alter this plate so I, see the actual, what's actually required of me. But remember that. We either land straight in to runway 8. Remember, it's kind of offset a little bit. And the wind is probably best for runway 8, so that's fine. Or we can do a circling to any other runway. Any questions to the VOR approach? If not, then let me go back here. Let me see what I have here. So departure, I spoke about that. Feel free to review the terminology. If we do have this controller online, then this is, and you decide to get the IFR clearance on the ground, then this is something that some kind of, it will sound something like that, right? So they will give you the clearance, and then you have this whole mouthful when you holding for release. So the procedure is that if you want to get your IFR clearance on the ground, you ask for the clearance as normal, you will get it, and more likely than not, at the end of this clearance, you will have hold for release command. Or they don't give it to you while giving you the clearance, but they will tell you that when they confirm that your readback was correct. So they can tell you something like November 123 Alpha Bravo, readback correct, hold for release, frequency change approved. Right? Because you are at the uncontrolled field and you still need to make all your calls on CTAF, one while, going around the airport and also when taking off. So when you get that, they will give you this frequency change approved. You have the IFR plan, approved. Then you switch back to the CTAF, you announce your taxi as normal, and then once you are ready for departure, you are standing, first in line on the whole shoreline. You are ready for departure. You will tune the center again, or whoever they tell you to tune, and you will ask that you will tell them that you're ready for IFR departure, and you should also tell them that you will be flying this Newport 1 departure if you actually plan to fly it. And then they will give you something like this, that what the time is, that you are released for departure, when the clearance is void, so it should usually be some 5 or 10 minutes, and if you not depart by the time, you should advise back on this frequency of intentions and so on. They can give you something shorter than that, but it's kind of a full version here. And then you should report airborne on this frequency and then change to advisor frequency. So what happens is they will release you for departure. They will not release anyone else, nor will they allow, clear anyone for the approach at that point until you have reported to them. So then you just repeat these portions. You repeat that you are released for departure. You repeat the clearance void time, and that the change to the advisor frequency is approved. Those are like 3 at minimum that you need to repeat to them, right? So they understand that you know that kind of time limit you have. Then you switch back to the CTAF, which is 122.8 in this case. You announce your takeoff as normal. You say that, for example, I will be taking runway 34 and left turnout, and then you are still on the tower frequency, right? On the CTAF frequency. Only when normally you would kind of log out or sign out from that frequency, you would then contact the center. So it may be that you are there, you will make the turn. Once you cross this, let's say that you are already at 3,000 feet or something like that, so that's safe. You will announce on CTAF that you are there, for example, over the airport, heading north, final call, and then you switch back to the center and you announce yourself that you should start also like Seattle Center, November 123 Alpha Bravo, departed Newport over the Newport VOR at 3,000 feet, right, or something like that. Yeah, at 3,000 climbing 8,000. So that's the process that you would use. Remember, you still need to communicate on the CTAF as well as the center, and you don't need to contact center like right after you take off. Right? Take your time. Understood?
I believe so.
Okay, good. So that's
But I'll just depart VFR, to be honest.
all right. Yeah. Then when we have this, when you ask for the approach, yes, we already talked about that before, some examples. Again, remember, if you start descending below before reaching that initial approach fix, you need to announce that to the ATC, otherwise it's at your discretion. ILS approach we already spoke about. Yeah, just maybe some terminology. I don't think that we will be doing that, but if we stay on the like IFR flight plan till the end, then again, this is an untowered field, so they will release you from the frequency at some point by one of those two or some variant of this. Then you have a CTAF calls, again 122.8 for Astoria. And when you are going around, again, kind of a process here. First, you are still on the CETA frequency. So you announce going around, and if you want to kind of go to the center quite soon, that you should also reply that you are changing frequency to facility at something, you know. So if there is anyone, so they actually know that you are on the radio, but not with the CETA. Then you call up the facility, you announce that you are going missed, and they can tell you something like that. You're Roger, that you should continue the missed procedure as published, or they tell you something else, I don't know. So if they tell you that, they can ask you to report when establishing the hold. So you will do that, and then you can, you know, request another approach. They can tell you that you should continue holding and expect further clearance at some time. You know, any stuff can happen right there. If we cancel the IFR plan though before, we will not be calling Seattle again, because at that point they would not care, right? We would, our flight plan would be closed for them, and we would be solely VFR. So we would just do the procedures anyway, kind of, but you know, just squawking 1200 and going VFR. All right. Then yeah, we did that. Okay. This is kind of what kind of calculation you can do in advance to kind of get an idea where to start descending. So I usually try to maintain a steady descent of 500 feet per minute, because it's comfortable for passengers. You have the change of pressure, you know, kind of slow, and better for the ears and so on. So let's say that you are descending, the example here says from 9,000, because again I missed or made the wrong assumption. So let's say it's from 10,000, in that case it would be 6,000 feet, and in that case I would need 12 minutes to descend that. So if I'm flying at 140 knots and I need 12 minutes, which is 1/5 of the hour, right? Yeah, that's 1/5 of the hour, no not 1/6. So it would not be 23 miles, it would be, let's say, 26 miles maybe. This divided by 5 is 28, so 28 miles actually. So you would need 28 miles to descend in 12 minutes, right? 28, 12 minutes, right? The arc portion is long approximately 30 nautical miles. It has a diameter of 19, it's a quarter of the circle, so calculate how long that is. So it's approximately 30, and then from Zinki to Yunsa you have 6 miles. So that's 36 miles that you have for the descent to arrive at 4,000 feet. 36 miles, and you need 28, right? So that means that you should start descending maybe, you know, when you turn to the DME arc, right? That's a Zigbee here. Turn to the DME arc, and 8 miles in, you should start descending, right? 8 miles out of 30, that's roughly one fourth of it. So you can just, you know, 8 miles. How long will it take? If I go like 2.3 miles in 10 minutes, and in 8 minutes I will go maybe 18 miles or something. So, and I need to 8 miles, 1/4, so maybe like 3 minutes after establishing in the on the arc, then I will start descent. But that's for me if I'm doing, for example, 140 ground speed, like that. If I'm going faster, then it needs to be sooner, and so on and so on. You need to do your own calculations there. Now, what's the time? It's 2010. So, I will try to be quick here. I know that I already explained that in some previous one, but it's been some time, and it's not the, it's a different example, different VOR, but the technique is basically the same. So, basically how to fly the arc. There are several options. You can do it kind of continuously and not really change by the steps, but if you don't want to fiddle, you know, with the needle all the time, then this is something that can help you. Remember, this is the no wind scenario that will be shown, and we have positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and will kind of appear where the aircraft is and what the instrument will show. So at position 1, and this assumes that we are like entering the arc from here, right? But we will be joining from there. So once you establish yourself in the arc, this is something that the instrument will show, right? Remember, this is for the radial 077. So perpendicular one is, what is it? 347. Yeah, 347. So heading will be shown 347, right? And this is the HSI option, like variant, and this is when you have a heading indicator and VOR separate, right? So what is tuned in the OBS needle is this 077 radial in both cases, both there and there, right? And your heading is perpendicular to it, right? So that's the initial position, and then you fly, right? You fly straight. Then you arrive at the second position, and you find yourself that you need to turn the knobs a little bit, right? So you change the heading -5 degrees, and for example, and you change the OBS by 10 degrees. Say it's not set in stone, right? We can do lesser steps. And as you can see, you change the heading in OBS, and you will be kind of flying this not as an arc, but kind of straight. I'm exaggerating, right? We will not be doing that much difference in the heading, but something like that. You fly and waiting, right? So when you turn like that to the left and also set the OBS a little bit to the left, again, here is the option, like a variant with the HI and VOR separate, and the needle will be deflected. And now you actually wait until it kind of goes level. That's at position 3. Notice the heading is still 337 in this case, but the needle is coming closer, right? And it's still at 67 here. Fourth position, the 67 is goes like we're aligned with the radial 67, still on the heading 337, and then you turn left 10 degrees and you also turn OBS left 10 degrees again, right? Turn both, and you basically repeat, right? You 5 and 2 are actually identical, right? Steps 5 and 2 are identical. So from 5 you then go to 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and you repeat this process. Every time it aligns, you turn that again, and you basically fly in this manner. What I usually do when flying, and if I have time for it, I will do that more gradually. So let's say that I will try to keep it keep it aligned almost all the time, and slightly turning the whole time. But it depends, on the workload and what you're capable of. Now, again, there is this DME arc, so you should be watching that DME. Let's say that you are there at step 3 and the DME is reached 20. So what do you do? Do you turn? What do you do in this case? Turn more left, turn more right, turn more left, right? So kind of try to get to 19, and when you are to 19, then you try to again go to perpendicular to the current radial that you are at. If it reaches 18, it's a different process, right? You go a little bit to the right. Maybe you hold off turning and you continue straight until you are 19 again. So try to keep, in that margin, and usually 1 mile or half a mile there, half a mile here is okay. 1 mile there and 1 mile here. I don't know if the corridor is like 2 miles wide or. So that's for no wind scenario. When there is a wind, of course, you need to do a little bit more. Imagine what the current situation. We should have wind from kind of there, I believe, today. So if that is the case, means that here it probably doesn't change too much because it's gonna be a headwind, but when you arrive there, it will be blowing there to you, like you to the left here. So you need to turn a little bit more to the right, just to compensate for the wind, you know, to stay on the arc. So let's say that in this case, I would not be maintaining my heading and VOR needle perpendicular, but my heading would be a little bit more to the right. Yeah, to compensate for this wind. And then again, the angle would not be like 90 degrees, but maybe 80. Depends on the velocity of it. Is that clear, or is it too difficult?
I mean,
you will tell me after the flight, right?
yeah, we'll see if I'm at 28 miles, then I guess I didn't get it.
Yeah, but the kind of the method or logic behind it is understood, I hope.
I guess in the end, if the distance starts increasing, you turn towards the VOR a bit more, and if it starts decreasing, you turn away from the VOR by 10 increments or 5 or 3, depends on the wind.
Yeah, because theoretically you can fly it even without the VOR needle. Basically, you just need the VOR, sorry, the DME, in a sense.
Yeah.
But in that case, you need to really be more intuitive, you know, how far to turn, you know, and so you don't completely lose yourself. And at any time, at some point, you need to know when to turn, you know, into the localizer.
You can program the G1000 to kind of just show the VOR as a bearing pointer, and then DME output.
Yes.
That's normally enough.
Yes, on G1000 you have that option to set the bearing, and in that case you just keep the bearing perpendicular. Or if you have wind, you need to keep it not exactly perpendicular.
Yeah.
So for example,
by, I don't know, some degrees off.
Yeah, so for example, in this case, the bearing would actually not show directly to the left, but it would show slightly to the south, right? So it would go down for this scenario. Yep. All right, and last thing, I know it's a lot of time, just quick on the holding procedures. If you have no wind whatsoever, it's fine, right? You fly 1 minute inbound, you make a standard rate turn, you fly 1 minute outbound, and you make a standard rate turn, and you are able to kind of maintain this nice racetrack pattern. If you are holding using the GPS, that's fine, that can compensate you, and you can still, you know, hold this nice pattern. But if you don't have any GPS, it's not possible to do that. So the general rule of thumb is that, let's say that you are flying here on the inbound leg and you establish the wind correction angle of 10 degrees, or let's say 5 degrees, right? So you, by experimenting, find out that you need to maintain the 5 degrees wind correction angle to stay on course here. What it means is you make the normal standard rate turn, and because the wind is coming from the north here, it will be tighter turn, right? Because the wind is always pushing you down, pushing you to the south. So once you establish yourself here, on this leg, you will do triple. So you will do 15 degrees correction angle, right? For the wind. So that here it was to the north, here it's also to the north. And you fly like that for a minute with the triple of the wind correction angle. And then you make a standard rate turn back. And because the crosswind is coming from the north, it will be wider turn, and you should end up exactly here if you do it exactly right. The logic behind it is that you compensate for the wind on this leg, right? And that's 1 minute. How long does this turn last? How long does it take to turn 180 degrees with standard rate turn? 3 degrees per second. So
1 minute.
1 minute, right? That's 1 minute. Same goes for the turn back, 1 minute. So you triple that wind correction angle because you compensate for 3 minutes, right? You don't compensate here, you don't compensate there, but you compensate here 3 times as much. And the result is kind of a tilt, like slanted or deformed holding pattern, but it's all right. It's exactly how it should be flown. Right? And one thing more, yeah, if we have wind, for example, today we should not really have that much crosswind, but we might have a little bit of, we are going inbound line from the west, so yeah, we might have like wind like that a lot, and it might be quite strong. So that means that here your ground speed will be quite fast. And in that case, what you compensate for is your goal is for the inbound lag to be 1 minute. That is your ultimate goal. So if you go and you first establish yourself in the hold, let's say you fly 1 minute there, you turn back and you find out that it takes only 45 seconds for you to get here. So what you do next is when you are outbound lag, you don't go 1 minute, you go maybe 1 minute and 15 seconds. Right? And then you turn back and observe how long it takes you. If it's still less than a minute, then you prolong a little bit more this outbound lag. Vice versa. If this is too long, you shorten this outbound lag. Because your ultimate goal is for the inbound lag to be 1 minute. So, are you full of information?
Yep.
Is it scary?
And it's all a moot point for me because I can't get my nav radios to work, so I'm flying VFR.
Ah.
It won't stay on. I put 117.4 and it just won't. It just keeps flitting back to standby because I've not flown it for ages. All my controls, all my custom controls are all wrong, and I'm not
Johnny.
faff about with them.
What do I do
So
with
I'm
you?
gonna go VFR. I'm just gonna follow the coast.
Yeah, of course, but that goes without saying. It's gonna be a longer flight, so if anyone doesn't want to do everything, that's perfectly fine. Just fly whatever you find fun, right? That's the ultimate.
In
Well,
that case, my goal is to be first.
anyway, I will wish you happy flying, whatever you decide to fly. See you at Astoria.
Happy flying.
Roger.
Fine.
You ought to use the VSX call sign.
I need to use my own.
Oh, that's just repeated itself. You're not streaming through Discord.
No, I know. Streaming just on Twitch because I don't want to run 2 streams, you know. Discord is running, hopefully.
I was going to have to turn the volume off on Twitch because it kept waiting. I think you're about 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, Twitch is like 10 seconds. If you want to talk to me, then it... sorry, Twitch is like 10 seconds. It's here on Discord.
Why me? Doing a full fleet pre-flight and everything.
Yeah, I... You know, if I didn't do that, then I wondered why I couldn't move it. Yeah, I'm not doing like fully, but some... I already found the rag here somehow. Time. Front.
What, in there? Do they randomly put things in there?
Yeah.
I haven't flown it that much.
Yeah, I tend to mute myself on Discord when I like speak just something for the stream's sake, so yeah. When I gonna like react to some of you.
To the north.
Oh, have you got a head tracker?
Yeah, I do. Right, pressure is. Okay. It. We are pointing at 60 roughly.
Newport traffic, Comanche 6529 Lima, going to runway 1,300, departing area to the north. Last call, Newport.
Okay, and let's get our clearance. 35.45. 45. This. That. Seattle Center, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, good day.
Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie Shuttle Center, hello.
Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, I'm Piper Comanche at Newport Municipal, Oscar November Papa, and looking for an IFR clearance from Newport to Astoria.
Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, you're clear to Astoria via the Newport 1 obstacle departure procedure, then as filed. Maintain 10,000, departure 135.45, squawk 4655.
Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie is cleared via Newport 1 obstacle departure procedure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 10,000, departure frequency 135.45, squawk 4657.
Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, read back correct, hold for release, coming number 1 for departure.
We'll hold for release, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie.
And Seattle Center, November 6529 Lima, 3,700.
Number 652.
Right, so let's prepare the radios. Initially I'll just need Newport 117.1. Now that's gonna go on KONP, yes, and also here we can get some 3. Right. That's enough for now. I will need 2 0. Let's do that. Sure. Let's refute wind. It's just 50. Probably use runway 34. Yeah, I'm gonna use runway 34. Here. In that case, yeah, I'm gonna procedure calls for left turn to 170 and intercept this, climb to, yeah, it's gonna be kind of quick, but and then on course we will be flying 350 radial, so on the second VOR I'll just go and 350. There we go. Good to go for now. Already aircraft in the air, them quite late. Newport traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, taxiing to runway 34. Right.
Default scenery or one off GO?
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting takeoff. this works that well on the ground. Probably works here, behind the trees. Just actually put it here. I can. Okay, let's do a run up. All in the green, all temperature in the green. Great. One magnitude good. Left nut. Right. With some oil. Drop. Like some fresh oil. Drop. Okay. Verify our carb heat. Fine. Yes, it is. Idle. Nice. Right. Parking. Now I need to pull for
Southwest 2811, turn left heading 190, join the localizer.
Turn left heading 190, join the localizer, Southwest 2811.
Southwest 2011, do me a favor, turn left heading 170.
Turn left heading 170, Southwest 2811.
Delta 604 field, 12 o'clock, 15 miles per point. Delta 604, clear visual, 34 left approach. FedEx 1567, climb maintain, follow 330.
330,
Seattle Center, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie at Newport Municipal, ready for IFR departure.
Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, release for departure, clearance void off, not off in 5 minutes. Frequency change approved, contact me airborne.
Release for departure, clearance void in 5 minutes, and we'll contact you airborne. Oscar Kilo Golf Papa. Newport Municipal traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, Piper Comanche, taking off runway 34, after takeoff, a left turn out, and we'll circle back over the airport. Okay, so, landing lights, strobe lights, fuel pump, sure, flaps, no flaps. Let's go, parking off. Okay, don't see anything behind the trees. Okay, we have a strong crosswind from right. After takeoff, we will turn left to 170 and continue climbing and intercept the 200 out. Alright, so deflection right. Okay. Deflection. You're up. At 400 feet left. 1500, so good start. Turning left. I will wait until I'm at 2000. 1200 actually. Don't just go direct. Or and on course. Go direct VFR. I will just go 350 and establish there. Newport traffic, Oscar Kilo Go Papa Charlie, currently above the head, right above the airport, 3,300 feet, continuing north, final call, port.
Air service terminated, frequency change approved, have a great flight. Alpha advisory and flight legacy, November 26 Foxtrot.
Little Center, Oscar Kilo Golf, Papa Charlie, above the Newport Airport at 3,600, climbing 10,000.
Oscar Kilo Golf, Papa Charlie, unfortunately I'm going to be at a closing up period, so you can head back over to either cab. Take care.
You're logging off?
Safer.
Okay, thanks for the departure though, Oscar Kilo Golf, Papa Charlie.
Take care. Alaska 321, no further ATC, low radar service terminated, frequency change approved, have a good one.
Florida 22-8, Alaska 321, thanks for the ATC, have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Well, that ATC didn't last long, but at least have problems coming in.
Delta 604, welcome to Seattle on active
Lights off, landing gear off. Leaning.
Well, aircraft on the ground at Seattle, you can switch to Seattle advisory 119.9er, take care. Charlie Cap still putting up close 2054, so thanks for coming.
Little bit. Let's turn on the AP motor. Prepare the autopilot. Today we have a long flight. And yeah, I wanted to set the timer anyway. Hotel is over control. It's 20 miles, so that's gonna be my first point. We're currently 4.6. Okay, so I'm gonna put this to low sensitivity mode. Lateral control is by autopilot. Vertical control is gonna be by me. Sorry.
on the old frequency, by the way.
Sorry, what was that?
Never mind.
Yeah, I just usually keep, you know, the frequency there to listen, you know, for ATC if they're going off. Just a little bit.
That was a squirrely takeoff. That's some massive head crosswind there, wasn't it?
Yeah, somehow I don't like how this behaves, you know, in the crosswind. I usually have problems with this taking in the crosswind scenario. I don't know why. It doesn't happen to me in the real aircraft, so must be doing something wrong. Or it's not properly done, but...
Have you got FS realistic?
No, for this aircraft I have it turned on off, because I believe A2A did a proper job.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things. That's one good thing about 24 is the ground handling and stuff like that. It's a lot better.
Yeah, ground handling in this, the taxiing is quite good. You know, much better than default aircraft. Actually, doesn't want to veer off with the slightest, you know, whiff of the wind. Takeoff, yeah, sometimes it's kind of, I don't know.
I think that's because the MSFS thinks that as soon as an aircraft is above stall speed, the engine considers it to be flying. And this leads to the skidding and slipping.
Yeah, maybe.
Once again, MSFS limitation.
I'm contemplating if I should, you know, enable this altitude mode in this autopilot. I believe that the original doesn't have the altitude, but maybe this. I don't know if they added it just for the simulator purposes, or if there are some versions of this autopilot that does have the altitude. I don't know.
I think the Just Flight pilots, they all have some hidden click spot for the altitude hold.
I don't think I've ever used the autopilot in the Pipers. I've never got it to work. He tried flipping me over about 3 times, so I went, no, I'm never going to use that again.
Yeah, I think it tried to kill me once too.
Apparently
But
the real one's dodgy as well. You only use it as a last resort.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think the altitude control works pretty well in the Comanche as long as you, excuse me, got it trimmed correctly.
As what?
As long as you have the aircraft trimmed correctly.
Oh, turned off. Couldn't properly look down, and it turned both off. Turned my engine off mid-flight.
Oh well. Nice knowing you.
No, it restarted once I selected, you know, the proper tank. Just doing it blind because I could not. My view was kind of switching, and I could not see the handles, and I turned it wrong.
Fuel saving. My car does that at traffic lights.
Yeah, it was kind of fuel saving, but didn't want to, you know, accelerate that much.
Kodiak got a flight model update. Now I have to relearn everything.
Is it like behaving completely different, or?
Feels a lot more heavy now. I guess it's like more like it should be now. The old version was really, really twitchy around the pitch axis.
Then it's a good change.
Yeah, I think so too.
Who did that one? Who did the Kodiak?
Simwork Studios.
I was looking at that. Do like a turbo prop.
I can barely hear you.
Sorry,
Really low volume.
Yeah, yeah, I do like a turbo prop.
Yeah, I like it as well. I got it as a Cessna 208 replacement, and it works quite well. And I'll do another update where you can actually get a decent, realistic engine and flap indication system on the G1000. Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. Right. For some reason, I thought the 19-mile DME arc, the 19 miles were the circumference and not the radius. So I kept wondering why my top of descent was off, and that's why.
Already there?
Yep. No, not already there. I'm 30 miles from Astoria. I already had the engine running when you finished your briefing and started taxiing as soon as after I said happy flying.
Try to determine how fast I'm going. First of all, oh shit, 3 miles. So next is the Inns. And it's 30 miles. So let's try not to miss that one. We are flying minus 33. Mean of peak, which is good. I want to do that with 10 gallons consumption and horsepower. That's good. And what I wanted to do is yeah, I wanted to calculate my true airspeed. Okay, so that's here, and let's do it like that. So pressure altitude. Let's find out our pressure altitude. It's around 10,000. It's a little bit less than 10,000 feet. Let's say 1,800. We matter that much. So, and temperature -10. -10 is here aligned at just under 10,000 feet. Indicated we are doing 128 knots. So true airspeed is 147. Good. I calculated this 150, so I'll just a little bit more juice into it. Fly 150, I need to do 130 indicated. Just a bit. We're looking at 30 DME very soon, and I'll start my timer there, finally. Engines in the green. Good, nice 10-gallon consumption. I calculated just to 130, so you're doing 150. Let's just verify with the little nav map, and it says that I'm doing to airspeed 147, 148. Okay, 9.5, 1.6. And we have 70.8, 78. Total time up until Danes. Now to Ulka, it's just 1 minute and a half. Plus, it's very short. Then we have a long bridge. Okay, 34. It's full. Autopilot is not so bad. Yeah. Downtrim because I accelerated. And I use this altitude. Make it easy on myself. This long straight stretch. Oh, I calculated completely wrong altitude. Oh my god, forgot to fill it. Let's do a new navlog. What an amateur I am. So we had 17.8 and now we had 1.8. Good. So next one is Fatui, probably not Fatui. Is it? Yeah, it's actually Fatui there. How far is it? 29 plus 34, then 63. And then at 66 we should do a switch to Astoria VOR, so might as well tune it at least the second one. And the Astoria VOR is 114.0. So, okay, I cannot, yeah. 4 point. Also prepare it here. Wait. I'll switch to that. Problem is, if I want to have the navigation out of the HSI, I don't have the DME information. I have no way how to switch the DME here, take this from the navigation radio to have it also on the second one. Doesn't really matter now, but let's see. We already have some signal, I guess, from WAR. Let's verify if this already works. I don't hear it. Could hear it from ADF though. No way. Oh, F1 works. I don't know why F2 doesn't work. Obviously tuned into the same one. Right, on course.
See the VORs in the black square dukes. When you're far out, it gets it's very unstable. You can see the needle moving backwards and forwards across it.
Yeah, for some reason I'm not able to get the audio signal from the second, which is bad, because the first one I identify, using this one, so I don't even need it. But I would appreciate if I could identify the second one.
It might be you're still a bit too far out.
No, but the second one is also tuned to the Newport. As of now.
Ah, right. Ah, right, okay.
Has a signal. Just doesn't want to, if like... Yeah, volume is on maximum. I don't know. Oh, it's full ID push brink. Oh, it shows the radio I'm on. Oh, this 217. That's wrong. I'm from. Oh no, I should fly 171 to get 2 in this. Okay, so that's a bearing. Ah, from. Okay.
Oh, the chat's saying fly the 170 one, doesn't it?
New functionality I found. Full ID push bearing. Ah.
Now you've got the volume up, can you hear it?
No, it's not the volume there. Cannot. Something doesn't add up here. Oh no, it adds up, okay. It's 2. Get myself confused. Airport. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Should take around 13, so we are kind of in the middle, and this will be Tillamook. This one. Okay, engines green. Cylinders 5 and 6, hotter than the rest. Okay, and still more fuel in the right tank. Good. What about the passengers? Good. Yes. Fitting much to the center of the aircraft. Oh no, you're not. Right.
Oh, some other people are also on the DME arc with me.
That bloke looks like a psychopath.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh, I thought that some external is there.
But I forgot how to use that VR thing Thomas told us about.
Don't say that even as a joke.
I'm kind of serious because you said that about the line going to the left and you have to turn like 10 degrees and whatever, but I'm keeping the distance 19 miles, so I guess I'm doing something right.
Yeah, if you're keeping the distance, then you're doing something right.
Not sure which radial to point the OBS at.
Perpendicular to your flight path.
Okay, interesting.
Well, I pulled my little nav map, overlaid the arc, and all three of you are pretty much dead center on it. Gene looks like he's using GPS, but maybe he's just using bearing. Also
No.
similar.
Gene is using skill.
It's too precise. But maybe you're just that good.
No, I'm not.
What are you using?
I'm just kind of trying to keep my DME at 19.
Then you're doing it right. Looking good. You're all in the arc already, and I'm still, well, way. But not that much.
Reach the localizer now. I might even try one of those high-speed descents that I sometimes do in the Kodiak.
Can you engage beta in that one?
Right, so it should be 63 here when I reach this Fetui, and then we'll switch to Astoria. 63 Fetui, and then at 66.
Yep, it's windy.
Right at Zinke, right?
Somewhere halfway between Zinki and Shansa.
Yeah. We'll tend to do that.
Yeah, strong gusts from the side. Try to flip you over.
Right, almost there. It's extreme. It's just top of descent already. Well, yeah, because it doesn't count with the arc. Will go off. At 66 we should switch. That we can switch. Well, let's first of all let's the aircraft in heading mode. We go. Then I'll switch the radios. This one, Astoria. Yes. 70 or a little bit off. Switch it to low navigation. Also switch that one. 30, good. Very close to. Okay. This one I'll switch to the. What radio will I use? Bring up the approach. Yeah, let's use a 087. Yeah, let's use 087 radio for this, so like 5, 7. And we should also tune in the ILS, which is 109.5. For us, but so far we'll be using that one arc. I will take over at like 25 miles because at 20 miles I would like to start the turn maybe at 19.6. And if we need to go mist, and it's straight ahead, right turn direct Astoria, and we have a 079er there. Let's get the weather for Astoria, where we still can. Altimeter 021, wind is 060 at 12 knots. disconnect the autopilot. ZP ready at 6 minutes. Actually, I need to keep it there. Lowest thing. Yeah, I would want that on the other side, yes.
Beware of strong gusts at the threshold of the runway.
Astoria traffic to Comanche 9-1 Papa Charlie on a 10-mile final, one-way 26, but because of the pattern altitude, I will go to the left downwind for 08. Astoria.
Are descending.
traffic, 91 Papa Charlie,
In theory, you
5
can take the
miles
circling
to
minima
the east
from
at
06,
2000 feet.
from
We'll join
26
step
rather.
downwind for 08.
Faster. Better ground speed than 140. Go down at 700. 8. Thousand. Let go. Side of the arc. Getting back. Alright. Eight, so go.
Astoria traffic, Comanche, 91 Papa Charlie, left downwind, 1 way, 08. Astoria.
Approach plane. Actually. E. Switch the tanks. Hopefully better this. To find a position where we can actually roll down there, so left go. We're 18.9er. For a while. Forward. There.
That's good listening, hearing the winds, oil cannon turbulence.
Astoria traffic, 91 Papa Charlie, turning left base, 08.
Wind is blowing me off. So. Thousand can actually
And
press
left
that
down
descend a
traffic,
bit.
91 Papa Charlie, turning final, 1 way, 08. Left down.
lights. Yes, the air is dry, so turn carb heat. Either
So
way,
you're gonna get yourself under the hood and just just fly blind.
I don't think I will.
Traffic, Comanche 9 Papa Charlie, clear runway west.
Thank you.
We're almost. At this point, I'm switching to ILS. We have a signal. Now I will try to establish. I don't like this. I would have some neck ache from that if I tried to fly under the hood.
What happened to Eugene? I heard he was going mist and then nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna come around and shoot the VOR 8 approach, I guess.
Oh. I was worried you might have hit the water.
That's a valid worry.
Coming alive. So turn. Now I can go to 4,000 feet. Don't have the glide slope yet. Did at this. Glide slope is 5. Like miles to go. Capture it and actually get to 3000. Oh, I busted it. Time to slow down a bit. Now we are gonna capture glide slow. Yep. 0.8, let's capture the glide slow. Just at the instrument's trying. Less power. And that guy is just RPM the bit. Get it to descend a bit more. Just at things. All the focus is going there. Not actually pull down the landing gear already. Help a bit.
Well, this is exciting. We have arriving traffic on both finals.
Astoria traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, Piper Comanche 9, minor final to runway 26.
With chicken.
Feet, I believe. Slow down for flaps.
Astoria traffic, Comanche 6529 Lima has vacated runway 8 Astoria.
Flaps 2. Astoria traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, 3 mile final. Yeah. Feet. I'll look up. Nice. And going around. You're up.
Minimums. Minimums.
Oh, it wants you to push the stick forward.
Astoria traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, going around, runway 26.
He's coming in a bit high, I think.
Nah, that's good enough.
Yeah, plenty of runway remaining.
I'm on 1500, I guess I can. Oh. There we go.
Still using the ILS frequency.
Yes.
Oh,
So 2,900 feet, that's it.
I'm only tuned into Unicom.
Bye. Direct Astoria and reach there. Transition to hold.
Nice.
Now. And inbound is 79ers. 80. 79. Switch off. Ready to start the timer. Let's see. Try to do like, plus maybe how that goes. That's 1 minute. First my turn here. Almost intercept. Start the timer. Try to verify what kind of interaction I verify but figure out.
Wow, Tomas is showing us what a perfect holding pattern looks like.
Uh-huh.
Oh yes,
I wish.
look at that.
I don't need action at all.
My flight path over Astoria looks like a 3-year-old scribbled over it with a crayon or something.
I just need a little bit of light, but then
That's
again,
impressive in itself. So you should be ashamed.
then again, my HSI might be out of synchronized. Guess there is not much wind correction needed, because now minute and a half. So I will shorten the lag. See what happens.
That was a big tailwind.
Yeah. There was a tailwind on the outbound lag.
Sadly, my time is up, so I won't be able to see Thomas landing until later on in the video. So I'll just say good night and see you next time.
Goodbye.
Take care, Klaus.
You do.
Sure, Klaus.
Waiting for the flag to flip. it flipped. So let's go like I don't know how much time I didn't notice that. So let's try to go maybe 40 seconds. I'm not doing any wind correction. I think that almost any was necessary.
I said 30.
Okay, 30 seconds. Finish that turn almost on the spot. Now I need to rest it a little bit. I will start my timer now. Finish the turn. And if it's acceptable, I believe this will be my last one, and I will transition to the VOR approach. I'm not here forever. Still takes a lot of time to get here. And I descended. Okay, again, a minute and 37. So I guess there's a lot of tailwind, but the little nav map says, oh, 14 knots, not so much. Anyway, let's transition to the VOR approach. So I'll dial in.
I must admit I didn't spot when it flipped over.
We'll flip to 070 there. I'll actually add some power now to accelerate. Descend myself to 2,600 feet. Go to like 5 miles and then I will make my seizure turn. Your turn. I guess. I'm already offset. I can actually go all the way to 2000, but I don't see the need over the water, so. MDA is 1140 feet. Why am I flying so fast? How does it fly so fast? Such a small power. Little power, I would say. Runway is then roughly there. Or something, yeah, right about there. Okay, 5 miles. I'll
I've
just
got
turn
a
it.
question for you guys. Are any of you guys getting frequent disconnects?
Vatsim. Or
In Flight Simulator? Like a server disconnect?
used to be, but there was a time when I had them relatively regularly, but not anymore. I don't know what happened. I didn't change anything.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's server side. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Now I can descend to 1100. Actually, RPM bit, so I can slow down. We are 5 miles out. Is it time for landing gear yet? No. Let's see. Let's try to again use this one only. I'll pop the landing gear. Have all green, yes. Go down to 1140. Guess we'll do flaps one. We're at the MDA, so look, you see the runway. Astoria traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, 2 mile final, runway 8. Full stop. Astoria. Clamps 2 landing today, we still have gear down. Drop forward, full mixture. Let's make the landing. Running on the left tank, are we? Yeah, get that. Now.
Is this that custom scenery with still has the Vatstar symbol on the turning thing?
Yeah, there should be a Vatstar symbol.
Yeah, I got that one.
Astoria traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie landed runway 8, turning right, runway 14 and exiting to port. Astoria traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Papa Charlie, all runways 88 exiting to parking.
I think this is the first time I've seen the weather, the real weather at Astoria look nice.
Yeah, me too.
I've seen nice weather in Astoria was when I drove past there myself in 2016 or so. Let's see.
All right. So, thank you very much for watching. This has been like a nostalgic return to our former base of Astoria. Yeah, what else to say? Have a good one, stay flying, and see you next week. Bye bye.